Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another episode of The Plant-Based
Rose.
I am your boy Meegz.
I'm Ant. How you doing?
How you doing?
That's right.
I'm doing well. I'm on the how you doing couch.
That's right.
You know who else on the how you doing couch?
Throw 'em up.
Aaliyah. Say hello, Aaliyah.
That's right.
Well said, well said.
Yeah.
Aaliyah will be hanging on the how you doing couch here with us today. Brotherington, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm
Good
doing-
to be back. That's my
I'm doing excellent.
initial first reaction. How you feel?
I agree. It is excellent to be back. We've had a lot of amazing things happen in terms of our life. Aaliyah, do you mind? Thanks.
She does.
No, it's fine. It's fine. There you go. Get comfortable. Find a spot. Find a spot. Wait for it.
How's it?
Nice. Yeah.
How's it?
Hasbullah.
Decent.
Anyways, a lot of fun life events have happened since our last episode, because our last episode was like 2 months ago. But that's all right. We're back.
Wow.
Back again like we never left.
That's right.
So, as always, we like to start you guys off with the quote of the day, but it's a little bit different this time. And he's got the quote of the day coming from a book that I recommended to him, and my wife recommended to me, called The Alchemist. Yeah, take it away, champ.
Yeah, chain of events. I didn't know that. Got me recommended.
Of course, dude.
That's
Come on now.
The Alchemist. I'm halfway through.
The Alchemist.
That's right.
Quick read. Good read.
We're not sponsored, but
Oh, you're halfway through it?
yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll have to go ahead and give us his review once we get back for episode 9.
Facts. I'll probably find like another quote too that I like really like.
There you go. Cool.
I remember the page. Here we go. Yeah, quote of the day. I even noticed that like when I was initially reading it, because I think, well, since Miguel and Antony both read it before me, I realized there was like some things that were highlighted, and one of the things that stuck out to me that was also like highlighted. So I was just like, dang.
Well, I did the highlights. Mills recommended it to me. Yeah, she actually gifted me that. Didn't you gift me that book, babe? Mills is also in the studio with young Marcelo Aníbal.
That's right. Hey. Alright, here we go. One great truth on this planet, whoever you are, or whatever it is that you do, when you really want something, it's because that desire originated in the soul of the universe. It's your mission on Earth.
Ooh. It's a good one.
Right?
Good one. Good one. Initial thoughts for why did you think that stuck out to you?
Honestly, I just feel like when you do, when you kind of just do, when you're doing your thing, you know, you're doing good deeds,
Right.
you're kind of like putting good faith out into the universe. I think a lot of things will fall into place for you in a lot of aspects if you really practice that patience. You know, you're practicing like being humble along that along that process, stuff like that.
Along the way, essentially. Yeah, I like that. That's so true. Yeah, that's funny that I was the one that like underlined it, and then you also resonated with it, because I think it's true, and like I think it like stays very valid to like things that have happened in terms of like our life updates and things like that. In terms of like the quick life update, I can just really just sprinkle it in real quick, is like, you know, I'm not teaching anymore and I'm doing a job that makes me a lot happier, and it's something that I really do feel like it was something I was destined to do. And I think that in all my experiences and putting my best foot forward, and no matter what job or what title I've ever had, I think it has led me to be the person who I am now, and to have the experiences, and to have such a great positivity and the great things that I have in my life going on right now, that we'll go into more detail and stuff. But yeah, I think it's dope. That's something I underlined in my first read of the book, was something that resonated with you. That's pretty dope.
Heck yeah, man.
For sure.
Yeah, that's we can just kind of transition straight into like my updates.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, that's one of the things I wanted to do. I mentioned in the first episode of the year, in our last episode. Go check it out if you haven't.
Heyo.
Plug.
Subscribe.
Bink.
Bink.
That's right. But yeah, one of my goals was to read 8 books this year.
Nice.
And, I'm halfway through that first one. I know we're in March now, you know.
Yeah, but dude, there's still plenty of time in the year. Yeah, I mean, what is it? Bro, yeah, it's 03 of the 12 months. So like, yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just wanted to highlight and emphasize that you're still in the first quarter essentially of the month, you know.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna finish this book very soon. Like, I mean, it's been such a cool read. I was reading it at the airport actually when I went to DR for a recent trip to Dominican Republic.
Hey.
That's right. Saw some family for an aunt's birthday.
Nice.
Cool. Met a lot of family. A lot of people saying, like, I'm like meeting them, but they're just like, they remember me.
Yeah, like the classic Hispanic thing where they're like, I've seen you before when you were smaller, but you probably don't remember me. And they're like, hey, at least they're honest, and they know that I really don't remember them. So that's always fun.
Yeah.
But it's always kind of weird.
And I feel like, I mean, we've always had like this thing, like you always have better memory for like the
Oh, dude, my memory is very A1.
family childhood get-togethers.
Yeah, my memory for that is like very like, I guess, intuitive in a way, like in terms of like just like remembers a lot of details. Niño lindo. Cutie pie. Marcelo just wanted to say what's up real quick.
Baby noises throughout the pod.
Enjoy them because they're the cutest things in the world.
That's right, I mean.
Like I was saying, young Marcelo Aníbal with the little shout out. Yes, puppy, I know. Nice. What a cutie pie. Like you said, I do have a very good memory in terms of like remembering family members, places, names, things like that. I think I just like associate a lot of like good feelings with memories. So like I can like kind of remember a certain thing because of like how like I felt in that certain memory. So like if I was like feeling like it was like a cool summer day, then I'll like remember, oh yeah, like that day was like, it was like this, the weather was nice, we did this, this, and this. And I remember like kind of just like how houses look like, how people's had like setups back in the day. I don't know, I was just very aware, I guess, of my surroundings from a young age.
Yeah. I feel like that's the author in you right there. You know?
Yeah. Ooh. I like, yeah, I kind of like how you, yeah.
Very detailed examinations that you got going.
Yeah, that's
like,
very
like
true.
You almost like analyze and taking the information in a sense where you're kind of like writing it down in a way of like how you
like in my
the
mind.
best way to remember each detail, and like that's why it kind of sticks with you.
I like that. I mean, I do have like over like 300 plus like works published and stuff like that, like as like a writer and a reporter and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess that is a very true thing, because I mean, yeah, I watch something and then I'm able to write about it. So yeah, that makes sense. I guess that really does, I guess, attribute to my ability to be a writer and the creativity behind it. Yeah, because I do want to like write, you know, like books of like fiction and like nonfiction and things that are like super fun, but then things are like they're super deep and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess that's a good shot. I appreciate that. That's a cool connection. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I can go into the rest.
Yeah, because you were going over the DR trip. What else you got going on, Brotherington?
Yeah, DR trip, that was good. That was, I went for a weekend, came back.
Yep.
That was cool. Still kicking through my second internship. I'm graduating soon, May something.
You're like I think it's like one of the first weekends in May, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Very nice.
Yeah. It's
That'd
exciting,
be cool.
man. I mean, it's crazy. It's like I remember being a freshman not too long ago.
And hating it.
And yeah, like those first
the prerequisites.
Yeah,
Yes.
the prerequisites are tough sometimes. Like I understand, like when you're taking like math after you just did like a bunch of math courses and
all throughout your adolescence.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
You don't escape math.
You don't.
Math, says the English thing. Mets.
Especially when you get that freedom in college, like that
Dude,
first semester, like really
that attendance isn't mandatory. Ooh.
Dangerous
words in a syllabus.
Mm-hmm.
Dangerous words in a
Very
syllabus.
dangerous words in a syllabus. If you know, you know. Of course.
Mm-hmm.
But
comment below if you know.
Exactly. I mean, it's crazy just like seeing the transition into like the first 2 years. I was like, it was cool. I
100%.
learned a lot of different ways of seeing how I shouldn't compare to different people's study habits. And then like I was during the COVID, drink your water, right?
Stay hydrated, my friends.
Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated, my friends.
I remember going through the pandemic, like 2020, going through that semester, and that was like that was a very interesting semester. But then going back into it, my junior year was like the toughest year of like my college.
Like academic wise, correct?
Oh, yeah, easily. I got humbled. Like I tell my buddies all the time, I got humbled like with my study habits. I could not study like night before anymore.
Yeah, because I was a classic crammer myself. But my stuff, I think my stuff was very surface compared to how complex your studies are, because I graduated with a major in communication, minor in journalism, and it's powering through that exercise science major and doing a great job. So yeah, I think with how complex that information is, you like really have to let it saturate in your mind, and like you have to really, really sit with that information instead of like trying to like do like what they call botella, right? Like sticking it to your forehead, trying to remember it, and then you can just dispose of the information. Like that stuff that you study, like you gotta know it,
Yeah, you gotta be able to like apply it, because the thing is how they would test you is just like you would have a lot of practical exams, like where you're basically you have to almost jump into the reality of if you were already the professional.
Okay.
And, like that's where I feel like the imposter syndrome comes in a lot. Like you're in the midst of learning all of these like terminology and like different ways to give that to like
methodologies in a way, right? Like ways to present it.
Yeah, and how to be like ethological or
ethical. Correct. Ethical. Yes.
Correction.
Ethics are a very big thing in business in every aspect. So it's very interesting how it is in your field.
Right,
Yes.
dude, they taught it to us.
Were words?
No, yeah, they taught it to us, and it was
That was funny.
They taught it to us, and it was cool.
Yeah, that's dope.
Learned a lot, and then now senior year, it's the internships, and yeah,
That's fire.
Updates, so I've been journaling and meditating every day.
can I ask you to give the people listening and watching and subscribing and liking and all that fun stuff a little bit of insight of that intramural journey of yours?
Oh my gosh.
Because I think that's a fun story to tell in the pod, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next episode I'll wear the shirt.
You'll wear the shirt. You'll wear the shirt. Yeah. Yep.
All right, clear throat.
Yeah, because this is a good. So listen, here, let's all do this. Let's get proper posture. Let's go ahead and get that posture right. Take a sip of your beverage. Cheers. Here's your bev.
Oh.
Oh.
Stand by. Better stand by.
Here, a little. This is a delicious bev that you took a sip of.
See?
Little Swigington. Check the camera real quick just to make sure I don't got the jug in the shot. Appreciate you, Brotherington.
Yeah.
Alrighty, back to your scheduled program of Plant-Based Bros.
Alright.
Go ahead, Ant. Hit us with this story of your intramural soccer co-ed league. Hit me, baby.
Intramurals, alright. Intramurals at FGCU.
Let's emphasize the word intramurals, meaning amateurs play in the league. Correct?
Boy, yep.
Alrighty. Just want you guys to understand that for some context. Amateurs are to play in this league, hence the name intramurals.
Right.
Or it's like intramurals. Whatever.
Yeah.
Words. Huh?
Hence with amateurs, right?
Hence with amateurs. That's the main regulations. Rules and them things, man. Them. You know? Rules and them things.
Right?
Rules and them things.
So we basically had an exercise science-based group of players, right? That's like the main core of
everyone. I like how you said exercise science-based group. It's just people from your major, like your program. I like how you get so philosophical. Yeah, philosophical. You like me use a big word.
All right. Anyways, how to get Aaliyah into my hand, in my hand because she
magic.
An emotional. Look at that. She. Yeah. Anyways, intramurals, right? We have all of my group, all of my exercise science fellas, right?
Feelers.
And some other friends. And we make it to the finals of the intramurals, right? You know, it's been like a weekly gaming.
Okay. You know, and how do these games go by week to week? What's a repeating theme in this week to week basis, essentially?
Yeah, let's dive straight into it. Okay. Yeah, okay. A repeating theme has been that other teams that we face in this amateur you're supposed to
intramural league,
balling out with your friends, right? Because there's regulations that you can't have more than one club player, right? And the club player is basically it's the team that's just right below being the Division 1 athlete. Like a
D1 team. Yeah. You're not no Joe Schmo if you basically play for the club team. You're like almost like a semi-pro player. Yeah. You're like almost like a semi-pro player, the equivalent to that.
And you get looked at multiple times by the actual soccer
100%.
team if you're on the
they probably even try out for the team.
They travel and stuff. If you play club, you travel. Definitely.
So they're legit.
They're legit, right. So,
that basically continues to add context.
So yeah, with some more background from that, we kept playing teams that would have multiple club players, both girls and guys, right? And just, we have a bunch of players that we're all just some homies, but we could play. A lot of us could hold our own, but some of the games we did lose, like the semifinal, we lost. It was club players again, right? Mm-hmm. But then they got disqualified because you can't have more than a certain amount of club players.
As what happens.
And then the same thing happened in the final.
Brilliant.
Good job. Nice.
That was cute. That was cute.
Mike picked up a little.
That was cute.
That's so funny. But yeah, we lost in the finals again. But it was, they was coming out for blood. It was actually what happened.
You're like stopping your foot.
No, they were coming out for blood in that last game, man. It was actually crazy. Like, dude.
Brexit meant Brexit.
Brexit. Yes, there was a couple of players of ours that were just getting
annihilated.
Yes, it was actually crazy.
That's tough.
And I even got a yellow card for making a save with my foot. They said I couldn't slide.
What?
I was just like, interesting.
That makes sense. Yeah. Good refereeing, those guys.
Right on.
Right on. But
you got the shirt.
But you got the shirt, and he's gonna wear it next episode. That's fun, man. What else you got for life updates, man?
Last update was I said I wanted to start learning an instrument, and I asked you.
Hey, bam, 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 bam.
That's been a little work in progress. It's
been your most recent challenge.
Yeah.
That's dope.
I remember I actually semi-learned it a little bit in high school.
Okay.
And I kind of picked up the first song that I was learning in high school, and I've been actually able to memorize it pretty quickly. So I just want to be able to actually learn a little bit more of the music theory behind it, so I could get the notes down and all that kind of fun stuff.
That's cool. I like how you said that. Music theory.
Music theory.
That's fire. Very cool.
All right, brother.
Very cool.
What about you?
Yeah, bro. I mean, that little tidbit I sprinkled in the beginning of the episode, how I, have that new job as a coach. I had a really great place, working with some really great people. not only has that really happened recently, but of course my wonderful wife gave birth to our firstborn, young Marcelo Aníbal, who's the cutest little dude in the world. Being a dad has been the greatest joy of my life, and it's only been like a week and a half, and it's been like the coolest thing ever. So the fact that I get to do this for the rest of my life is pretty dope. Honestly, very humbling. And I'll talk about it more as, more pods come along and stuff like that, but it's just been a super blessing, like, seeing my wife go through that whole process and just being the champ that she is. It was just really cool, and again, a super big blessing, and it was just super awesome. And recently we had our dad come into town to meet his grandson, and this is like the first grandson for both sides of my wife and I's families. And he got to hang out with both of his grandparents, something that Aunt and I could never do growing up, and it was just something really special and really cool, and something that's gonna continue to happen in the future. So yeah, it's just been it's been really great, man. Life's really good, and just excited to keep sharing it with you guys, and to keep just keeping on, really, and just learning more, and sharing as much as I learn as possible for any future dads out there, or really just people just living life. Yeah. How you feeling being an uncle so far?
I love it. And
Godfather.
It's the coolest thing. I love seeing the progress that both of you guys are having.
Yeah, it's dope.
It's just gonna be such a cool thing. I know love goes such a long way when you're nurturing a newborn, and that's just gonna be a continuous thing. I know you guys are such awesome people in the sense of knowing who you are in your own skin, right?
Yeah.
And what you want to teach value wise to your own child. I think it's a big thing, and having a good foundation in your relationship is beautiful.
Wow, man. I appreciate that. Yeah. That's really sweet, man.
It's really awesome.
Wowzers. Aaliyah agrees with her little shakington. Yeah, no, it's really something beautiful. And my favorite thing has really just been seeing Meegz just be this natural mom all the time, and it's the cutest thing ever, and life's just good. It's really awesome, and it's something I definitely don't take for granted, and it's freaking sweet, dude. It's legitness.
Should you make this?
Oh, a little meaner.
Forget about me.
Alright, dude. So moving on from life updates, we've had some, I would like to call this not only March Madness for college basketball, but this is March Madness in terms of UFC. Real good fights. Most previous weekend, John Jones, cereal and milk gone. Jones annihilated him. Valentina's little spinning tin spinnerooskies cost her belt, with Alexa choking the split out of her.
Alexa was piecing her up, man.
Yeah, man, it was a good fight, huh?
With her striking.
Yeah.
And just she was quick.
She can scrap, dude. She can scrap.
And that submission was so quick.
I still got Erin Blanchfield being the future champion of that division, bro. Erin Blanchfield's legit. Erin Blanchfield. Okay. She fought Jessica Andrade the weekend before. And she beat her. I mean, Jessica Andrade fought her on short notice, but Blanchfield also beat Molly Meatball at MSG. Remember when Molly Meatball was super hyped? She humbled her and beat her in I think in the first or second round, and choked her out. So that chick is legit, and I think either her versus Valentina, if Valentina's not the champ, against Grasso again, would be a good fight. But we'll see what happens to that division, because that's a really good division. What else went down?
I think
Bo Nickal's debut was cool.
Yeah.
Bo Nickal's first fight. Oh, you didn't see Bo Nickal's fight? I
started watching
Neil versus Shamrock. Yeah, that was a good fight. I missed that one. I was taking a little sleeping tin during that.
Yeah, I think I got fight of the night bonus, but I don't know if Neil gets.
Neil got it. Dana White, there's usually a rule, if you don't make weight, you don't get the bonus. But Dana White was nah, I'll break my own rule because I make it, so he gave it to him. Yeah, that's cool. I'll have to watch that back. Yeah? Fire. I'll have to watch that back. The Bo Nickel fight was dope, though. I think Bo Nickel is a super hyped up prospect, and I think he's gonna be super I guess he's the standard, the poster boy for American wrestling, and I think he's super good, honestly. It's pretty cool.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next card is the Jan.
Yeah, this weekend's Jan versus Marab. That should be a good fight. It seems like they don't like each other, so that'll be fun. Yeah, I was reading some stuff that Marab doesn't like Jan, and Jan called him small whenever last time they ran into each other, so they got some beef. And I always like the famous Dana White quote, "Those guys don't like each other." So I think it's going to be a good scrap. I don't know. I don't really know any other fights on that card, but I always like to tune into any fights, prelims, everything. It's always cool just seeing all these fighters at the highest level just perform and do what they do, because it's very entertaining, honestly.
Yeah, those prelims are such good fights,
dude. It's almost
the best fights of the night.
I agree. It's almost like college basketball players, because they're trying to make a name for themselves and be these big things. So these fighters in the early stages, in the early prelims, they're fighting for their lives, and they're fighting to make a really big name and to keep moving up in the UFC. So those almost are the hungriest fighters at times, versus people that may be at the top and have done it all and won belts and stuff like that. So it's pretty dope.
Super awesome.
It's I feel cards from top to bottom have just like enough for like every single fan, for like people that like the up and comers, for people that like the superstars. UFC's been pretty well rounded for a couple of years now. It's been pretty sick.
Yeah, I mean, Dana knows what he's doing with a lot of the fights.
And the matchmakers too, bro. The matchmakers are really good at what they do, honestly. Yeah, it's been sick. I can't lie. I had a little bout with COVID, which kind of sucked at some point, and I was binge watching Dana White's Power Slap League. Like, I know, dude. It's barbaric. It's ridiculous. It's like so bad, like CT and all that stuff. But like, I'm not gonna paint a horse red and say it's yellow. Like, I found it entertaining. Okay, these dudes were smacking the bejesus out of each other. They have beef because they're like in some kind of Ultimate Fighter house. If you've seen the Ultimate Fighter, like where they live together and they fight and they train, the same kind of setup. They get like hammered together. People get kicked off. People talk smack, and like before each fight, they're like, "I'm gonna smack the ish out of you, bro." They're like, it's hilarious, dude. And I found it very entertaining. You know, the closest to me know that I'm a sucker for reality TV. My wife especially knows that, and we won't get into specifics on what my guilty pleasures are, as she flashes a laughing smile at me. But yeah, it's pretty entertaining. I can't lie, and I'll probably be watching like the little finale they have going on Rumble. I can't lie. I'm a merchant.
I'm also a little bit of a merchant for reality TV, man.
Yeah, hey, it is what it is, bro. No shame from this guy especially, dude. I'm the last person to shame someone for liking reality TV.
Right, I'm not watching that show.
Yeah.
Doing homework, and then I'm looking up.
And then you're looking up.
Getting invested.
Oh, dude. Yep, 100%. And then you're just like you're locked. Here? Oh, you're locked in. But shifting back to UFC, Usman Edwards 3. Kamaru Usman trying to win his belt back. Leon Edwards trying to defend it for the first time. That's going to be a sick fight. I think Justin Gaethje, Rafael Fiziev is also on that. Let me go ahead and pull up the card real quickington because it's a really, really good card. Let's see here.
I think I definitely was seeing.
Let me see. UFC 286, correct? This one's in London, bro, which is cool. It's like it's in his own turf.
Dude, that Leon Edwards.
Because Leon Edwards is from Birmingham. Yeah, ooh, yeah, this is a good card. So Daniel Rodriguez's fight got canceled, but Marvin Vettori's fighting a guy that's 12-1 named Roman Dolidze or something like that. I think I probably butchered it, but it's okay. Also, Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev is a really good card. Like a really good card, a really good fight. That's gonna be a war. And then Leon versus Kamaru is gonna be sick. So who you got in Vettori versus that Roman dude?
I got Vettori for that one.
I'm gonna go with the Roman guy just because of his record and the fact that I think Vettori is a little nervous when he fights. And hence the picture. If you've never seen the picture of him, look up the picture of him doing a UFC photo shoot with his pants on backwards. I think the dude is just like frazzled all the time. It's hilarious. Marvin. Funny guy though. I think he's hilarious. Good fighter. But I got Roman in that one. Who you got in Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev?
Definitely Gaethje.
I'm gonna go with Gaethje on that one as well. I'm a big fan of Justin Gaethje. He's a scrapper. I remember his fight with Michael Chandler. That was a war. Also, speaking of Michael Chandler, very excited for Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler in The Ultimate Fighter. That's gonna be a sick season. I was just reading that there was like some beef between them, and they had like an actual like altercation during the filming. So that'll be fun to watch. More reality TV, more UFC. Hello, Leah. Goodbye, Leah. Oh, cutie. All right, main event, welterweight title of the world. Undisputed championship in the welterweight division. Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman. Who you got?
I think Usman takes it. Honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Dude, for the majority of the fight, Usman was winning that.
Yeah, that's correct.
And I just don't think. I think Usman has such like the weight lifted off of his shoulders from like having that streak and being so perfect in the UFC that I genuinely think he could catch Leon sleeping. And it's gonna be. Is this a trilogy?
This is a trilogy, yeah. Because the first time they fought, it wasn't for a belt. They were just like very early in their careers, and then Leon finally got his title shot, beat Kamaru with the infamous kick and the "look at me now," pound for pound headshot, boom, dead. That was epic. Yeah, super epic. Honestly, dude, Kamaru's knees are in a really bad shape.
Really?
Yes, dude. Like a lot of the things that I see are him like training with like things on his knees. He had like a hurt wrist. Kamaru's kind of aging because he's been wrestling for so long, and I hear that storyline a lot.
He wrestled in college, no?
And in high school. I've heard that narrative a lot, that Kamaru's kind of like near the tail end of his career.
Yeah.
Leon having now defeated Kamaru, gets a boost of confidence. And when you have a belt, you train differently. I think as a champion, to defend the belt, you have a whole different mindset, and you have experience versus the newer version of Kamaru versus the really, really, different version of Kamaru that was the first time they fought. Because Kamaru was very young in his career. He went from fighting a guy that was just another guy in the division to then fighting the then pound for pound number one fighter in the world and then beating him. So I think it's kind of hard to really throw it up and say it's going to be it's going to be a similar result to the first one, but then again, it could be. You never know. You never know.
I think it could be a very good back and forth scrap.
Yeah, I got Leon though.
Yeah, I don't see why not, because
it's a good call.
Right. It is true. They're going to train different. They're going to train to not lose that belt.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, brother. Now transitioning to the infamous scarfs above us. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and get things started. Yes, I'm very happy that Madrid had a very nice remontada and came back against Liverpool at Anfield and put 5 on them. Yeah. No, I'm not happy that things happened with Liverpool and United. Let's not even get into details. Yeah. But Madrid continuing to drop points in the Champions League. Let's just say it hasn't been the most the Champions League. Sorry. Real Madrid dropping points in La Liga has not. You see how frazzled it makes me? It just hasn't been fun to watch. It really hasn't. No. You can't win a league, in March, but you can lose it. Oh, I'm sorry. You can lose a league in March just by giving away points and not capitalizing. Now, yes, Madrid plays Barcelona in the league. I think if not this week, next week, which helps you recover. Yeah. But you're still, even if we win that game, we're still 6 points down. And that's a lot of stuff that has to happen out of your control. So I really hope Madrid kind of kicks it into gear, wakes up, finishes the job against Liverpool when they host them next week. And hopefully they can move on from there. But I'll let you go ahead and talk about Man U knocking out Barca, because that was sweet in the Europa.
Was so sweet. Yeah. I remember watching the first leg and just being in awe of that tie, and I was like, wow, this was a really
good game.
Just back and forth. Both teams could have gotten away with that just leading goal toward the end. It was a very good game.
Very back and forth.
Yeah, and I don't think Casemiro played in that first leg, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But second leg was even better, man. I mean, from what I remember, who scored the leading goal? Was it Rashford?
We can pull it up. I'll pull it up. Pulling it up on FotMob.
That was beautiful from the Europa League. They have Betis coming up soon this week.
And Betis is a tough challenger, another team that Madrid just dropped points to in La Liga. They tied them 0-0 just now. I mean, Madrid could have won that. Oh, wow. Speaking of the Champions League, Chelsea's up 1-0 at half, making it 1-1 against them in Dortmund in that tie. And then Benfica is just smashing Club Brugge, so it looks like Benfica.
We'll see how that game ends out there.
Yeah, let me go ahead and pull up Man U, though.
Yeah, they've been good though. I mean, they were on such a good run. They stayed.
Yeah.
They had the sights of the.
Things happen.
I mean, they still have the sights of the 4 in the league, because I mean, Premier League they still got a little bit left in the Premier League.
All right, so in the Man U Barca game, Lewin scored the pen, so they were down, and then Fred scored, and then Antony scored the banger.
That's where it was
of dreams.
It just kept bouncing, and then instantly he pulled up and just
curled it. Yeah.
Back left post.
Brilliant.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's what he does, bro. That's my favorite.
That's what he does. Yeah. He's sick.
Him.
Yeah, he's so es muy grande.
Absolutely. What a big game play. That was such a huge
100%, dude.
Against Barca. And I remember seeing it after the interview, Ten Hag saying that was the biggest result for Man U so far, because that was the first time Man U had beat Barca in 15 years.
Oh, also they did win the Carabao Cup since the last episode too. They've also just got their first trophy since for the first time in a while. So yeah, Man U's trending upwards aside from what recently happened.
Against West Ham for the.
They did for the FA Cup. Yep, for the FA Cup. Yeah, for FA Cup. Yep. No, yeah, I mean, hey, we're hoping that both teams continue to trend upwards despite little hiccups here and there.
Right.
Consistency is the key, and with the World Cup being in the middle of the season, that really threw things into a wrench.
I feel like Benzema hasn't been the same, bro.
But hopefully, hopefully he tunes in and he hears this, and he just gets some more motivation. Hopefully we got you, Big Benz. Alrighty, y'all. We appreciate y'all checking in, tuning in to yet another episode of the Plant-Based Bros. Mills, do you want to pass me Marcelo real quick so we can get us out of here?
If you're on Spotify or anything listening wise,
get on the YouTube so you can see young Marcelino, young Marcelo Aniwa. Alrighty, y'all. Thanks again for watching, listening, and subscribing.
That's right.
We'll show you the little guy here as we get on out. Bring him over.
He be chilling. This way. Leah is protector.
Yes. Great big sister.
We are back though. That's right. Here, folks.
Oh, yes.
Oh my goodness.
Hi, Bobbies. Aw. This is our big guy. Oh. Yeah. Hi.
A little sleepy. A little sleepy. And pequeño.
Emmy Pequeño. Alright, Emmy Pequeño. Say bye. Bye, everybody. We'll see y'all.